Yeah, hey, welcome to Real Talk with Michael and Lisa. Yeah, oh, sorry. Our camera tripod is
At
not
home.
adjusted properly. Yeah, we're out on the Strand at Arcata and
Or it might be technically Samoa. Not quite
Samoa,
sure. Yeah.
Samoa, California. And last night we got to sleep in a 1952 Airstream.
Somebody's heart was so full.
Yeah, I've restored a couple Airstreams and sold them both before we moved here to California for different reasons, and actually God orchestrated that, and I still have a desire to have an Airstream. I was just daydreaming with Lisa about driving down the beach in Pismo with our Land Cruiser set up for sand fun and Airstream on back, so we have a great place for showering and
It sounds like fun
yeah.
and adventurous and a little outside my comfort zone, to be honest. But it'll be great. I swear it's going to be great. Why did we come to the coast, babe?
So a year and a half ago, we were teaching our first class to singles about relationship and marriage and courage and risk and choosing to love and daring to love and all that good stuff. And we're pushing them, and they're feeling pushed, I guess. Triggered, push, yeah, push sounds better. Encouraged to take risks.
They were feeling encouraged to step into relationship.
Yeah, and after a few weeks of classes, they're like, hey, we want to trigger you. I mean, no. We want to challenge
Encourage you.
Encourage you. They're like, hey, if we get engaged, if we get married, are you guys going to get licensed to marry us? And we said, of course.
Now, we didn't think it happened quite so fast, so here we are, a little more than a year later.
Yeah,
and we got to officiate our first wedding yesterday together.
Yes.
It was so much fun.
It was.
Congratulations, Val and Benny. It was beautiful.
Yes, a couple months ago they came to us. Valerie was in our class a year and a half ago, and she remembered that promise. And so when she got engaged, and then COVID happened and derailed their wedding plans, and that's amazing. Could you imagine?
From April till June.
Could you imagine being scheduled to get married and then waiting a couple extra months? But in that time, we got to meet with them and do marriage counseling. And,
premarital counseling.
Marriage counseling, coaching, training,
we
and it was
we
beautiful.
got to do the SYMBIS assessment with them because we are facilitators for that through Dr. Leslie Parrott. Yeah, so that was really awesome just to prepare them and then to actually get to do the ceremony. So that was a huge landmark for us. It was a first.
Yes, and we were out on Moonstone Beach, and beautiful rocks behind us, and the ocean waves in the background, and actually it was warmer. It was like mid-60s.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Today it's not mid-60s. The sun is shining on us, which is keeping us warm, but it's not mid-60s out here.
It's
probably
still
mid-50s.
Beautiful.
Yes, it is. But no, it was fun to do our first wedding, and we did it together. 2 officiants standing up. We got to do it together, and it was kind of fun to go back and forth with vows and all of that, and we did it. So all of y'all from our Fully Alive and Choose to Love classes, we did it. We got licensed, and we've done our first wedding. So I don't know if we're saying we'll do all weddings everywhere, but maybe if you pay for all the expenses to get there, yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, and so, one thing I've learned from Michael is somebody asked him, I don't know, maybe 6 months back, and they were like, Michael, you seem like you got a pretty good life, that you got a lot going for you, a lot of great habits in place, and he's like, how did you get to where you are?
And yeah, that was a good question, and at first it was an honor to get that question. Like, wow, yeah, I am blessed. And then I just started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I really can't take credit, but there is always something that you can take credit for. And I realized the credit I get is I say yes. Like when God says something, or when someone asks or makes a outrageous request or an uncomfortable
or an opportunity presents itself
I don't think about how. I don't think about why or what. I just say yes. And then they thank me, or God says, all right. And then I'm like, huh.
What did I just commit
Wow, I just said yes to that. And,
Yeah,
and you know, it's incredible.
In fact,
it happens.
When Michael got a request in February to teach at a men's conference in the beginning of March, he was like, oh, I said I would teach with you, Lisa, up on a stage in an 8-foot beanbag. I never committed to going and teaching at a men's conference by myself. And I said, do you hear that? He goes, yeah. I said, that's the sound of opportunity. And remember what you always say? And he's like, yes. So he said yes, and he blessed 75 men at that. And it was amazing. So, you know what? We just want to encourage you to step over fear, and to step into whatever God is asking you to do.
Don't even. So you just say, here's the deal. When an opportunity comes or someone asks a question, say yes before thinking, before feeling, before thinking, before anything. Just look at them and say yes.
Hey, babe. You might ought to be careful, because a flood of requests might come to you in the next week or two.
Yeah, there is.
From our 34 subscribers. We love you all, each and every one of you.
So here's the deal, is if I've said yes to something else, I'm not going to double book myself. So I do know I do have limits on that, but you'll also know when it's God. And it's just it just feels uncomfortable, but not impossible.
And then also the other thing that was pretty cool was that, there we go, we came back from low power screen, was that we had an opportunity just to be reminded as we watched our wedding video from 2 years ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we watched that, and what was awesome was just recalling that we had asked Chris Valentin to perform our wedding, Pastor Chris Valentin, and his first reaction was
no.
And then we asked him to pray about it, and he said he would. And then he came back and he really felt like God wanted him to perform the wedding, and he talked about it in our ceremony about how it was really beautiful and redemptive. And so just after watching that and hearing that again, just to feel honored by God and blessed, and we just reached out to Chris and was like, hey, thank you. You did an amazing job, and we're just sent a text yesterday saying that we were officiating our first, and we're inspired by him, and
yes.
He was like, you guys are amazing. I love you both. So that was pretty awesome. That was a bit of encouragement for us today. So we want you guys to be encouraged, and also make sure that if you have a job that you're doing and it takes you somewhere, have fun. Connect.
Yes.
Make a date out of it. Make a little adventure. We're going to go hike in the redwoods today.
Yes, she's never hiked in the redwoods before. We're going to go feel like we're ants among giant trees. So we're going to do that. Hey, back to that yes. Back in...
I said yes.
Yeah, you did say yes. Back in 07, 06, 07, I was in Guatemala doing a mission trip, and just for a couple weeks, and I'm like, I was talking with God as we were leaving at the Gran Tikal Hotel in Guatemala City, and I'm like, God, what's going on with my life? There has to be a bigger purpose. And he just said, hey, Michael, I would like to use you to touch everyone on this planet with my love. And my first thought, my brain was like, yeah, how do you do that? There's a species of, there's people groups that haven't been discovered yet, and all these other, and I finally I thought about it for a few seconds, and then I just said yes. And that was 13 years ago, 14 years ago. But more importantly, that I was building homes at the time, and my wife, Deborah, she probably would have she looked at me at that point, it's like, you don't know how to love. And she was significantly right. And I've learned in the last 13 years, there's been a whole lot of things I've learned, and training and failures and successes and freedom. And now I've actually touched several hundred lives, maybe more, but I know of several hundred lives that I've touched, and I've changed their lives to some measure, some of them significantly, just by loving them. And I have to laugh because I built houses before. I designed houses, and I know that impacted people, but didn't really change hearts in any way. And so I love how I said yes, and I was like, how in the heck is this going to happen? And it is. And I said yes, but I didn't calculate how. I didn't get a roadmap and figure out how I'm going to make it happen. God does it. God takes care of those details. You keep saying yes, push into fear and uncomfortable, and watch what He'll do. It's pretty magical.
It was a couple of months ago that God said, hey, will you do some videos on YouTube? And we said yes. So that's why we're doing this, because we're being obedient to God, and we're excited to see what other doors open and opportunities and how we can touch people's lives. So we just bless you today. We don't want to make this too long.
We bless you. We'll give you a little more. This is all the way down the beach this direction. You can see the fog's kind of rolling in over there. And over towards Lisa's direction, we got the fog rolling in. But you can see the mountains behind there. Yeah, we're just kind of, there's some people way down there. And I can't see anyone down that direction. But yeah, our beach, the Coons Beach. Love you guys. You have a great day.
Bless you.
Bye.